I think I am live now. Hello, hello guys, hello. I think I am live now and hopefully you can see me. You can see my screen. Hello, hello guys, hello. I think I am live now and hopefully you can see me. You can see my screen. Hello, hello guys, hello. I think I am live now and hopefully you can see me. You can see my screen. Hello guys, hello. I think I am live now and hopefully you can see me. Hmm. Fair. Hopefully, I'm live and fair. Okay, let's go and let's start doing coding. All right. Hopefully, I'm live and okay, let's go and let's start doing coding. All right. Hopefully, I'm live and I'm not able to get it. Why my let's go. This got it from what's I file. Let's go. Oops. Let's think my audio is actually. I think my audio is actually getting voice short, guys. So my audio is actually that's why it's little bit close. I think my audio is actually getting voice short. I think my audio is actually Whereas now, there is the experience, right? Yeah. So loader, actually I'm building a chat app. So this is how it looks like. Actually, it's not. I have started the front end and my backend is almost completed. Almost means it's already completed, but hopefully I'm thinking of building a chat app. I think this is how it's like. Actually, it's not. I have started the front end. Completed the backend, but not actually the front end. Though there are a lot of work to do in the front end. I have learned somewhere in YouTube. So actually, it was I think it is a very easy way. Means I can learn the front end better with the front end. Actually, I don't know what my audio is, how is my audio, but hopefully if there is any issue in my audio, you can just text me, or sorry, you can just let me know in the chat. So hopefully I can able to resolve the issue. I don't know how is my audio, but hopefully it's just issue in my audio, you can just text me, or sorry, you can just let me know in the chat. So hopefully I can able to resolve the issue. Anyone in my chat knows coding or somewhere in the what what I say what I should say means if anyone in my stream knows coding or do coding or anyone in my chat knows coding or somewhere in the let's say what is it? I mean, everyone in my chat recording already. So let's go. Let's make this thing and let's create a front end. Basically just set up the UI. So I have just done the navbar part. So this is the name of the app. So I think this Chatify name is very common. So I just not randomly. I just heard somewhere or thing or see somewhere in the GitHub. So I just like the name and like so I have just take the name from done the navbar part. Also, this you can see this icon. So these icons, so this icons is from is a I think Lucid React, which is the framework, which is so Lucid React. So if you don't know what is Lucid React, you can just search into the Google. So you can get it. So it's a library where you can. So it's a React library actually, where you can get the where you can use the icons. So this is so if you want to install or you want to use this library, you can use it from here. Just learn the docs here. So just search it by Lucid React, and you will get it. This page. Open this page and just read the docs and install. Hopefully, it's very easy. You'll be able to use it. So just learn the docs here. For NPM, just like for installation, just get it. NPM install Lucid, install this library, and here is it. How to use? You can use it. Lucid is built with ES module, so it's completely tree-shapeable. Each icon can be imported as a React component, which renders and inlines as visual. So in this library, we can import the import those icons or those icons can be imported as a React component. So it's an uh, so it renders an inline as visual element. So this way, only the icons that are imported into the project are into the final value. The rest of the icons are treated. Okay. So if you want to, let's say, want to use the camera icon. So you can just import it. So if you don't know what this curly brace is, so it is known as something called array destructuring. So if you want to know what is array destructure, you can just search it in the Google and array destructure. So you can just open this Alien web docs and you can get the best definition. So what is array destruction? So here it is written very so here it is written the destructuring syntax is a JavaScript syntax that makes it possible to unpack values from arrays or properties from objects into distinct variables. It can be used in location that receive data, such as the left-hand side of an assignment or anywhere that creates new identifier and structure. So uh, here is a code that is written here. So you can just go through it and you can I think you will able to get it or you will know after you just after you see the syntax. So this is the syntax. So here it is written. So it's a variable let A, B, yes, there is a three variable and A and B is stored as an array and the values are 10 and 20. So if so let's say if we console A, so what will be the expected output? The expected output will be 10. So so this is called the destructuring. Actually, you can as an array, you can actually get the value uh, putting inside an array. So here you can say this is an a this structure actually. There is a this two is a variable name which is put into an array and uh, along as well as the values. So inside an array. So the a the value of so the a is equals to 10 and the b is equals to 20. So whenever you console a, you will get it the value 10. And whenever you console with you will get it 20. So here there is also an you can see in the so whenever it's console A, you'll get it. So you can see here there is three variables where variable names where is number one is where is A, B, and rest. So did you see this three dots? So these three dots basically means the spread operator. What does spread operators do? So actually, what's the definition of wait, let me check what's spread operator. Spread operator. So I think it's JavaScript docs. So let me see first. I also have to check the docs. So what is the spread syntax? What the spread syntax allows an iterable such an array or string to be expanded in places where zero or more arguments to function also and or elements for array literals are expected. In an object literal, the spread syntax enumerates the properties of context. That's the events. Livestream করে দেবো good idea. In an object meta spreadsheet enumerates the properties of an object and adds the key values to the object being created. Spread syntax moves exactly like REST syntax. In a way, spread syntax is the opposite of the REST syntax. So, uh, here is a here is a code that is given. So here is a function sum which takes an arguments which is x, y, and z. So it returns x plus y, z, and actually what it does is it creates a variable numbers which one which is an array, and there are three values inside an array. And what it will do whenever you console sums and the numbers with the spread operator. So what will do? It will actually add this array, add the values 1 plus 2 plus 3, and it will give you 6. Uh, what the major thing? What's the thing here? The operator does? It actually removes the it actually, whenever you store the values in an array, it will actually uh, returns the out as not an array, but an actual value or a number. So the spread operator helps in destructuring. You can say destructuring the values to add it while uh, and add it and getting the expected answer is 6. So you can see here return x plus y plus z. So this the x is stored, the one is stored in x, two is stored in y, and three is stored in z. So we console the sum function and we call sorry we call the sum function and console with this and console the numbers with history dots, which is a spread operator. And whenever we uh, whenever we get the output, we will get as in 6. So this is how a spread operator works. Maybe I'm not able to explain you very good, but you just know what I think you just I think you just able to get it. I think. So this so let's go. Let's explain you another time. So here is a function which is sum, takes three arguments, which is x, y, and z, and returns the sum, which is x plus y plus z. We create a variable, which is the number variable, and store the values in an array, which is 1, 2, and 3. And we call the function sum with this function sum and console and numbers, which has three dots, which three dots means the spread operator. And whenever we call the numbers like this, like this. So whenever we put three dots before a number and we store this in an array like when we call this like this when we call this as a spread operator, the spread operator spreads the value and it spreads the value and destructure the array, not destructure, sorry, spreads the value and returns the output with a 6. So the if you see the x is stored in the one is stored into x, two is stored in y, three is stored in z, and whenever the if we add it, we will get 6. So this is the output. So this is how it is like, but in this case, in real world or in whenever we actually import packages or import modules, as you know that we are going to use this spread operator or we are going to use this array restructuring quite often because it is how it is done. Suppose, let's say, I can give you an example. So let's go to at the JSON something. Where should I show this? Okay, okay, that's good. Uh, I think this will be a perfect example. So, this is a home.jsx, which is JSX means JavaScript XML. So this is an XML code. It's not typically HTML, but it is XML. So whenever JavaScript is whenever this code goes into the browser, the expected output is always be in always in the JavaScript. But whenever we write code to make things better, to make things simple, I think JSX helps in uh, writing codes much more simpler than writing a lot of code in HTML or CSS or like that. So here in home.jsx, you can see there is an export function with there's an export function which export this variable, right? This variable. This is a variable because const home page. This is a variable name and const is a variable where and you can see this is a what is this? This is a function. There is there we can write functions either in two ways. Like you can write it like this way, function like sum and you can give some object like argument like parameters like x, y, okay, and we can return x plus y, x plus y. We return this, and what we can do is we can let's say a variable response number like response num equals to uh, one or two, one comma two. Say like sorry. Let's just we can just console it, console.log, call the function, and just again do this, and we can get whatever we want to end. Okay. So what will be the expected output? So the expected output is this then we are returning an addition function, right? This is an x, this is y, and this is a plus symbol. So uh, we are adding it, right? So whenever we call the function, the uh, and at the required values, we will the x will hold the one, the y will take 2, and whenever we return and we are returning x plus y, so 1 plus 2 equals the expected output also will be 1 plus 2 is equals to 3. So this is how function works, right? We all know that how this is how function works, but there is another way of writing a function. The another way of writing a function is const, so as you can say const, suppose x equals to so first bracket and an arrow function and just so instead of writing like this function some like this we have written this function like this. So this is an arrow function. So remember, if you are writing like this or if you are writing like this, so this is the same thing. Okay, so this is x. Like what we do, we just store this function into a variable. So this is const x, and when we just write a simple function, we just this is a function name, and it's the first bracket. And if you want to give any like arguments, you can pass it into here and just look at the function. So this is how function writes. Function can be written either in two ways. Like the number one way, just I show you that just uh, write function name, first bracket, so open curly braces, and this is another way. Just you can just uh, this arrow like thing. You just instead of writing function like simple function, you can just store it into a variable, open bracket, and an arrow. So this is how function is written. So uh, where I was like I was teaching. I was just telling you that what is export function or what is array destructure, right? So array is export is what this exports does. The export this export uh, this exports it exports this component, right? This is a component. So usually it is right like it usually it is a function only, but uh, what does component takes? Component always takes the first letter as camel case, like camel case letter. Okay, so it takes capital first letter as a capital, and in function, general function, it doesn't take any capital letters. You can like anywhere, anyways, you can like in gibberish, you can write the name of the function in a gibberish string or anything you can write. But there is a catch whenever you are writing a component, the first letter of a variable name should always be a capital letter. So this is home page. So if I just use this, like there will be a runtime error. Okay, always write this in which. So what we are doing this, we are exporting this component. So home.jasx is a component and this is the variable name. We are just exporting this component and like uh, this home page will be reused in another component or another file, which that is why we are exporting this thing uh, like we say, let's go to app.jsx where uh, we are using this component. So you can see, uh, you can see this function. So how we have written? We have written inside a curly braces, inside the curly braces. Why is it so? Is it so? Why is it so? Because curly braces, because this is what I was telling you that this is called array structure because we are exporting this thing from another file into another file. That's why we have destructured the things. So you can see this is the path of that file, and this is what the variable looks like. This is what the component name. You can see home page, and we are destructuring because we want to use this thing, right? We want to use the home page into another file or another component because we need it, because somehow we need it, because we need it. That's why we are destructuring the value. Okay, we are destructuring the value, and from where? From the given file path. So what is the file path? This is the folder pages. This is the folder pages, and this is home. So where we have written the component, where we have created the component in the home.jsx. So this is the home where we have created that component, and we are using it in app.jsx. That's why we are destructuring the value, which is the home page, right? Uh, and how and where we use it? This is where we are using. We have this things is routing. I think routing, it will be very difficult, or it will be not difficult actually, but in the meantime, I will also explain this, or I will also walk you through this. But at first of all, this is how routing means in basic sense. If I want to explain, or if I want to just tell you, in basic, routing means from moving from one place to another, right? So if there are a lot of things I mean, I'll have to explain though before going to this routing. Okay, so that's okay. We have built this thing. Like so just let's restart the server. Control N, which is for restarting server. What we can do, we can just simply run a command which is npm runs there. We will host your server. Actually, it will host your app into a localhost 5176. So you can see it here. So this is a loader where the loader is also, yeah, I have imported the loader also from Lucid React. So if you don't know what is Lucid React is a React library where you can use the icons as a component inside an as component. Okay, which component which renders an inline HTML. Okay. So this is the simple network. This is a profile. What my uh, Apple. So this is a logo, simple lucid icon. Unique file, which name I have got somewhere. I have got this name from somewhere. I think from a GitHub app or somewhere. So this is a very common name. So you can use it anywhere. So I'm just making this project for fun. So this is a profile. So it is this is an icon, and also I have made it a button. Like how I made it a button. I can just show you the component here. So you can go here to the navbar. Where is my navbar? This is my navbar. So you can see in my navbar there where this is one. This is a button where I have inside the button. So why I have used it the button? Because this is an event, right? Whenever I click in this thing, I'll have to get it something. A event must trigger. So event must be whenever I click this. So whenever I click this, so my profile should be open, right? So then I can so then I can change or whatever I need to do, I can do it whenever. So that's why I have made it button. So in the button, I have used this user, which is a Lucid user. This is a simple component that renders an SVG element where user is a component of a library which is React. So user which is some. So this class name. What is this class name? I am using actually Tailwind CSS for stylish. So this is how we write Tailwind like how we write and how we style actually. So inside a class name we write like this. So this is BG gray 200 means the background color. So background color is 200. Background color is gray, which is the intensity of the color is 200. And I have just used the cap property, which is so it will in between the two buttons, there will be some space. That's why I have used gap three. And oh, sorry. Actually, I shouldn't have used inside the bucket, inside this element. Oh, I have already used it here. So I don't know why I have done that. I think that's where some typo mistakes. There was some typos. So this is a padding, which is the padding actually helps in uh, yeah, helps in actually having some space inside that element or also inside that icon. So This is the size of that element, the size of the SPC element, and rounded full means the border radius, which is rounded. And this is the setting which will also trigger the event whenever we click it. Then a setting bar or something like should be open. So that's why I have used this settings. Uh, so that's why I have used it as a button. So this is how my structure. This is how of simple like network. So there is I think not much to explain it. And let me connect my charger quickly so I can move. That's why there's a button. So this is how my structure. This is how simple. Guys, let's wait for some time. I'm just going to have some connect my charger. Mi legge profondo. Hello, hello. Lage man dekho Easy, why? Let's search for components and inside the and in the components, let's and fill why? Let's search for components inside the components. Find names. Fill is good. Let's put in this time. See. Let's go for password field and